What up? It's Just TV Reviews coming back for another video. Today I want to talk a little bit about Kanan, Krystal, and Pop. I'm not gonna lie, I really was side-eyeing Krystal a little bit. I was wondering if she genuinely liked or loved Kanan, and I think she did. I figured Krystal was out of here when they made that when Kanan had that narrative when it first came on about how people outside the game get hurt and how people who care about you end up getting caught up in your mess just because they love you. I was like, oh man, she is so out of here, bruh. R.I.P to Krystal. It's crazy how Kanan and Jukebox lost their first loves tragically, and those losses have drastically impacted their lives. Krystal was a young girl, and nobody plans to get kidnapped or anything like that, but I think that caught her off guard. And not only that, she had a lot of fear in her, and sometimes when you have certain emotions, it can like lessen your logic, you know what I'm saying? And I think that she wasn't able to think on her feet so that she could basically escape, because if she was in her right mind or knew how to control her emotions, I think that she could have found something in that kitchen to cut Pop's throat or even strangle her, when she was trying to, when Pops used that key to unchain her. That was a possibility for her to leave. But, who knows? Maybe Pops had some security or something outside the door, but I would have at least made an attempt or two. Also, Krystal's focus was in the wrong place, which was her going home. Pops knew when she kidnapped the girl that the girl would never go home. But if Krystal was thinking right, she could have been asking herself questions. And also, while she was asking herself questions like, why am I not at the police station? Why are these people questioning me about Kanan? Why are they trying to find out what Kanan knows about Famous's death? You know what I'm saying? She could have been putting those pieces together and figured out that they were actually behind this the whole time and they're covering her tracks. Had she known that she was covering her tracks, she probably would have answered some of those questions differently. Because by answering those questions that Pops was asking her, she basically gave Pop ammunition to use against Kanan to manipulate him. I don't know why I thought in the series that somebody said that they saw the police snatch up Famous, but I could be wrong about that. But we did see that Krystal was snatched up. Not only was she snatched up, she was snatched up in public on a bus. So you can't tell me that ain't nobody saw nothing. For Kanan's sake, I'm hoping that he actually finds some type of closure. I just don't think that it's going to necessarily be this season since it's only one episode left. But I'm hoping that word will get out from somebody who was either on the bus or near the bus that saw Krystal get into the police car. I do not think that Kanan will be the same person that he once was. I think that the death of Famous, OC, and Krystal dying, it just forever changed him. I really want him to also get closure from OC, for him to find out who he was involved stealing his money, Kanan's money, and Unique was behind it all. I want Unique to have that same energy when Kanan came to come see him and he told him that he put down his brother. You could be man enough, Unique, to let Kanan know you stole his money. It's up, nigga. So Kanan, unaliving, Snaps, and Pop have been my predictions since the beginning of the season. Kanan has really grown to like Snaps and Pop, and I think that Snaps, he likes to manipulate Kanan by giving him compliments, tell him how smart he is, and he could be ahead of the game and blah blah blah. All of that is just mind effing Kanan, and Kanan is too young to recognize that what's going on. It's to the point where I think that's why Snaps allow him to be alive, because to stay alive, mainly because he don't want pressure with his mama, Rock. But he also can use Kanan for that hate that he has for Rock, and he can use that for his own benefit. And I think that's why they're going through all these measures, just to find out what Kanan knows, because at the end of the day, they know that Kanan will put them down. They don't want no problems like that. They want to continue to fly under the radar, do their dirt, and move on. You know what I'm saying? And if Kanan finds out, it's going to be a war. Honestly, I'm really surprised that Pop got her hands dirty. But then again, Detective Pickett and Wiley, they were really sloppy with Famous, and now they got all these rumors about police being involved. So I'm thinking that's why she went ahead and stepped on in, because she wanted to fix it herself, because she couldn't trust the police. Go figure. What y'all think? Will Kanan find out the truth this season, or you think it's going to continue over to season 5? My guess is going to be continue over to season 5. And, I'm hoping that Kanan has a flashback to Krystal telling him that, his hatred for his mama pretty much blinds him. So I'm hoping that his hate for his mama doesn't blind him to the truth about what happened to Famous and Krystal. Because if he's still focusing on Rock, that means he's not focused on Snap and Pops. And that's exactly what they want. So now that Snap and Pops have armed Kanan with the information that Rock has taken out Famous and more than likely maybe behind the disappearance of Krystal, I'm hoping that Kanan doesn't do anything stupid like thinking about attempting to unalive his mama. And if so, I'm hoping that Jukebox is around so she can speak some sense into him. And let's just say if Kanan finds out that Snaps and Pop are behind the unaliving of Famous and also the disappearance or death, because I think he's gonna know that she's dead. We probably won't hear about that till next episode. But do you think that he would try to take down Snaps and Pop himself, or do you think that he would actually have his mom to join in? Or since Jukebox is still TT's baby, do you think that she will tell Rock about Snaps and Pops and Kanan want to go to war and she'll join in? Because at the end of the day, Snaps and Pop, they are heavy hitters and they have a lot of soldiers and a lot of influence. And I don't know if Kanan will have that. And Kanan will pretty much need as many people as possible to help him, because at the end of the day, the deaths of Famous as well as Krystal, it's not going to go unpunished. I know I already mentioned a little bit early in the video about how Kanan and Unique were talking, but anyway, this was later on in the show where Kanan went to go see Unique, and he wanted to ask him if he heard anything about Krystal's disappearance. Do you think that Unique will actually tell Kanan if he heard anything? I think that low key that Unique actually respects Kanan. He likes the way that he moves. And I feel like if he heard anything from the streets about Krystal's disappearance, I think he'll tell him. All right, guys, I am done rambling. Let me know your thoughts about this episode, or at least about Kanan, Jukebox, Krystal, Snaps, Pop. Drop it down in the comment section. I don't bite. But I thank you all for watching. If you made it this far in the video, if you are a subscriber, thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you are a watcher that you come by sporadically and watch my videos, I appreciate that as well. Maybe you'll come back, maybe you'll subscribe, maybe not. But I thank you anyway for the click and the view. Until the next one, guys, I'm out. Peace.